Yes, my friends, the Browns' wide receiver core stands on a precarious ledge, just one injury away from an all-out crisis. And this isn't fear-mongering or clickbait. This is a raw, relevant, and pressing discussion that's circulating through Browns territory, amplified by respected insiders like Tony Grossi and Zach Jackson of The Athletic. And let's be real, this is a conversation the dog pound can't afford to tune out. I've got the full breakdown for you, but first, if you've been riding with the Browns for 16 plus years, smash that like button. And for those who've been bleeding brown and orange for 30 plus years, nothing but respect and admiration. Now, I want to ask you this. On a scale of 0 to 10, how would you rank Kevin Stefanski as the head coach of the Browns? Drop your rating in the comments. All right, let's dive in. We start with Jerry Jeudy, the undisputed gem of Cleveland's current receiving group. Andrew Berea deserves massive credit for pulling off the trade, giving up just a 5th and 6th round pick and locking Jeudy into an extension before he ever took a snap in Berea. It was a calculated risk and it paid off. Without that extension, the Browns would now be staring down a much heftier price tag. Jeudy is electric, clean route runner, explosive after the catch, a reliable weapon to anchor the offense. But here's the problem. What if he gets hurt? And let's be honest, it's not far-fetched. Jeudy has already dealt with ankle issues in Denver. No one in this league is immune to injury. If he goes down, suddenly Cedric Tillman becomes your WR1. Now, that might excite some fans, especially those who watch Tillman dominate on Saturdays in Tennessee, but make no mistake, this would be a monumental leap. A concussion during the infamous Snow Globe game against Pittsburgh ended his 2023 campaign prematurely. Yes, his flashes last season were promising, but they came in limited reps after Amari Cooper was dealt to Buffalo. Can we truly bank on him for 17 games? Right now, that's more wishful thinking than proven reliability. Beyond that, the picture grows blurrier. Mike Woods has had some buzzworthy moments in camp. Highlight reel grabs that get fans talking, but those are just isolated flashes, not consistent production. He missed all of 2023 due to an Achilles tear, and we all know those injuries don't quietly vanish. Then there's David Bell, who essentially vanished last season due to a lingering hip injury. The initial optimism around him has cooled considerably. We simply haven't seen enough to believe a breakout is coming. And yes, Deontay Johnson is in the mix. The same Deontay Johnson who flashed brilliance in Pittsburgh, but also carried baggage. Let's be real, if he couldn't stay productive or locked in with two playoff-caliber organizations, the Ravens and Texans, who both moved on from him, what are the odds Cleveland becomes his turning point? It's not about talent, it's about accountability, consistency, and whether he fits into the culture. Can this locker room keep a guy like that grounded? It's a valid question, and right now, the answer doesn't exactly radiate confidence. So here's the honest breakdown. Jeudy, elite but injury-prone Tillman, talented but unproven and coming off a concussion Woods and Bell, recovering with uncertain ceilings Johnson, high-risk wildcard, which leads us to one unavoidable truth. This wide receiver room is one injury away from chaos. That's not panic, that's the reality. And it's why the noise around adding a veteran wideout is growing louder, not smoke, but fire. So who's on the radar? First up, Amari Cooper. Yes, the same Cooper who was traded to Buffalo. Yes, it would be awkward, but who cares? Awkward doesn't matter when you're chasing wins. Cooper's market isn't exactly exploding, and if he wants one more monster payday, pairing back up with Joe Flacco, where that connection already thrived, might be his smartest move. The chemistry last year? Undeniable. Then there's Gabe Davis. Young, physical, a tough blocker, a perfect complement for Kevin Stefanski's newly physical run-heavy system after drafting 2 new running backs. Davis adds a new dimension to this unit, and he's still available. Attention diehard Cleveland Browns fans, major developments are unfolding in the AFC North, and this could redefine the Browns' path to a Super Bowl run. We're talking about a power shift that could derail a division rival for years to come, and we've got the inside scoop right here. But before we dive in, if you bleed brown and orange, smash that subscribe button and become part of the Dog Pound family as we push toward 1,000 subscribers. Share this video with a fellow fan. Let's grow this community together. Now, let's talk football. Browns Nation, you already know the NFL offseason is full of curveballs, but this one has everyone talking. Enter Shedeur Sanders. Yes, that Shedeur Sanders, the gifted gunslinger from Colorado. the son of NFL Hall of Famer Deion "Coach Prime" Sanders. His name is echoing across the league, and naturally, Browns fans are asking the million-dollar question. Could Cleveland really land such a high-profile talent, or is this just off-season smoke destined to fade? Let's unpack the truth behind the headlines and what this means for Cleveland's ever-evolving quarterback situation. First off, Shedeur Sanders unexpectedly slid to the 5th round in this year's NFL draft, a surprising drop given his stellar college resume and media buzz. But as seasoned fans know, the draft isn't just about raw talent. It's about team needs, scheme compatibility, locker room chemistry, and sometimes blind luck. Right now, the Browns' QB room is crowded. We're talking Deshaun Watson, Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, Dylan Gabriel, and a handful of promising newcomers. That's 5 quarterbacks battling for relevance. And with that level of depth, tough decisions are inevitable. The big question, where does Sanders fit in? Will he earn a spot during training camp? Or could he be cut before he even takes a snap in preseason? Early reports suggest Sanders is locked in and plans to attend Browns training camp this July, a clear sign he's ready to compete and prove himself. But some analysts, like Chris Bumbaka of USA Today, have voiced skepticism. With so many quarterbacks on the roster, it's possible the Browns may release Sanders before camp begins, especially if they believe he doesn't fit their system. But here's where it gets interesting. Shedeur Sanders is no ordinary rookie project. He has talent. He has upside. And that's something Cleveland cannot afford to overlook. Even if he doesn't start in 2025, his long-term potential makes him an asset worth developing, especially under a seasoned veteran like Watson. But let's not forget, quarterback uncertainty has haunted the Browns for years. Between injuries, inconsistent play, and high-stakes misfires, the team has struggled to find long-term stability at the position. Letting Sanders walk without a real opportunity could be a costly misstep. Yes, Deshaun Watson remains the starter, but his recovery from injury and off-field distractions leave the team needing a reliable insurance policy and maybe even a future franchise QB. Sanders could be that guy. Now everything hinges on the Browns' internal evaluation. Will head coach Kevin Stefanski, known for developing young signal callers, give Sanders a legitimate chance? Stefanski helped shape Baker Mayfield early on. He could do the same here if Sanders flashes the right intangibles. Training camp and preseason will be pivotal. Flacco brings veteran wisdom. Pickett has starting experience. But Sanders? He brings star potential. And in a league where the unexpected becomes reality every Sunday, don't be surprised if Shedeur Sanders forces his way into the conversation. Veteran poise will likely secure the primary backup role, and Dylan Gabriel has shown encouraging flashes of potential. So if Shedeur Sanders wants to stand out, he'll have to grind relentlessly. And that's exactly what makes this storyline so captivating. Sanders isn't just hoping for a roster spot, he's battling to earn it. Quick pause. If you want YouTube to keep pushing the latest Browns news to your feed, hit that like button now. It's quick, it matters, and it keeps the momentum rolling. Thank you. Now back to the big reveal. What's truly fascinating is how Sanders is embracing the challenge. Despite limited reps with the Browns' first-team offense, he's maintained laser-sharp focus and a resilient mindset. In his interview, Sanders has made it clear he's willing to do whatever it takes to secure a place on this roster, whether that's stepping up in practice, showing quiet leadership, or being ready the moment his name is called. He's taken a mature, professional approach, acknowledging that the NFL is a business and that true opportunity is seized through preparation and perseverance. And that mindset is crucial for any young player, especially one with a high-profile background like his. Now, zooming out to the bigger picture, the Browns are at a defining crossroads. They've invested heavily, both financially and emotionally, in Deshaun Watson, betting big that he's the long-awaited franchise quarterback. But the reality, injuries and off-field controversies have cast a long shadow of uncertainty over that investment, which is why a dependable backup or even a potential successor becomes a vital piece of the puzzle. If Sanders can showcase the explosiveness and vision he demonstrated at Colorado, he could emerge as a true dark horse, a hidden gem in a quarterback battle most think is already settled. And let's not forget, this Browns coaching staff has a proven track record of developing talent. That developmental culture could be Sanders' greatest advantage if he's granted a real opportunity. Now consider the landscape of the AFC North. Arguably the most unforgiving division in football, Baltimore boasts the electrifying Lamar Jackson and a playoff-ready roster. Cincinnati is anchored by Joe Burrow and a stacked opportunistic defense. Pittsburgh remains dangerous with a rock-solid defense and rising QB Kenny Pickett. In a division this competitive, even the smallest edge can tip the balance. If Cleveland can nurture Sanders into a legitimate backup, or eventually a starting caliber quarterback, it could be the X factor that pushes them past the competition in critical moments. Let's also reflect on the Browns' quarterback legacy. From the days of Bernie Kosar to the endless carousel of short-lived starters, this franchise has long craved consistency at the position. And every season, fans dare to hope that this year might finally be the one. A rising star like Sanders, if properly developed, could be a part of that long-awaited breakthrough. So, what's next? All eyes now turn to training camp, the battleground where Sanders must prove he belongs. The coaching staff will assess more than just arm strength and mobility. They'll be evaluating his football IQ, his command of the playbook, and his leadership intangibles. Then comes the preseason, a spotlight moment where legends are born and sleepers rise. This will be his chance to shine when it counts, in live game action. So Browns fans, stay locked in. The next few weeks will be pivotal. While the organization continues to ride with Deshaun Watson, they know the future can change in a heartbeat, and in Sanders, they might have a rare talent worth cultivating. In the end, this isn't just about one quarterback. It's about building a roster with resilience, vision, and depth. Whether Sanders becomes a future starter or a key reserve, his journey adds intrigue to an already electric offseason. So, Cleveland faithful, what's your take? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your voice matters, not just to us, but to the entire Browns community. And don't forget, more breaking updates are on the way. Stay tuned, stay passionate, and stay proud. This is Cleveland Browns football at its finest. Breaking news out of Berea. A seismic shift is quietly unfolding, and it's not just about personnel or X's and O's. It's about something deeper. Belief. Belief in a new identity. Belief in untapped talent. Belief that what's been brewing behind the scenes during minicamp may erupt under the stadium lights this fall. Because let's be real, what just happened at Browns minicamp isn't some off-season footnote. This might be the spark that ignites a quarterback revolution in Cleveland. Hit that like button if you're ready to ride this wave with us, and buckle up, because this is going to get interesting. Lastly, Keenan Allen, a route-running artist, a cerebral leader. If the Browns start a rookie payroll like Shedeur Sanders or Dylan Gabriel, who better to mentor him than a seasoned pro who just did that for Caleb Williams in Chicago? Allen may favor the Bears or Chargers, but if those doors close, Cleveland becomes a dark horse destination. So here we are, less than a month from training camp, and the Browns WR unit is teetering between promise and peril. Andrew Berry knows how crucial this position is. Don't be surprised if a move is coming, maybe even a bold one. And don't be shocked if it's not a headline-grabbing signing. It might be a smaller, strategic addition. A quiet pickup that turns into the difference maker down the stretch. The need is real. The depth chart doesn't lie. The clock is ticking. Because this decision to bring in help or stand pat won't just shape the WR room. It could define the season. One injury, one wrong bet, and suddenly your offense implodes. But one wise addition, and you're talking playoff poise, balance, and leadership. Picture this. Week 3, Jeudy's healthy. Tillman's gaining confidence, and Keenan Allen is turning third downs into firsts. Or Gabe Davis is out there sealing the edge for Nick Chubb. Now you're not just dangerous, you're lethal. So Browns Nation, what's the move? Do we roll the dice on youth and upside, or do we lock in one more piece to ensure this offense stays steady no matter what? Let me know your take in the comments. And if you're enjoying these no-fluff deep dives, smash that like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Camp is almost here, and this offseason, it's far from over.